Have a seat. You'll always feel at ease in my room, no matter the time.
Around. Where are we? Lost and found at the racquetball center? The orb showed copper pieces. We need to find something that seems to be locked, but is actually not. Aha! Found it! Nothing can stop the genius, Matilda.
The trip to Egypt didn't go smoothly. The ship was hit by a common storm at sea. We were lost in the fog after that, completely off course. Then something emerged from the water. Since the first storm, the Foundation has received frequent sightings of arcane creatures which should have been extinct in history. I had no idea what I was shooting at, even after I emptied the clip. And I didn't know what to do. Those arcanists brought us back on course. She named the precise longitude and latitude of our location, even without using the sextant in the spare cabin. I wonder how she did that. Perhaps the world did look different in her eyes. Then when I was about to step on a random plank on the ship, she suddenly dragged me back. I thought it was only an inappropriate joke. But the next second, the plank broke. I was stunned, and asked her how she saw that coming. She just answered me as if we were talking about the weather.
Because that plank is deformed like a rhombus.
I was confused. Where is the rhombus? She laughed.
The rhombus can't be seen with eyes. You shall close your eyes, hearken to the teaching of the Supreme Existence, and seize the moment of afflatus.
Of course, I didn't see anything. Nor did I understand what the moment of afflatus was. Perhaps it's just another privilege enjoyed by arcanists, just like their right to be lunatic. Nevertheless, she reached the correct conclusion in a completely wrong way. Anyway, she saved my life. But that was not enough to settle the differences between us. She remained rejective to working with the Foundation, and I finally gave up on the attempt to persuade them. My mission on that trip was not to make contact with them. Besides, what we needed was builders of the storm observation system, not some liars who would only make things worse. As for the shelter they took from the storm, she wouldn't say a word, as if she were dealing with a spy who pried to find out the deepest secrets of the arcanists. In the end, Hugh mediated between us. He gave me an address in Istanbul to which I could send the letters to contact them. After that, I spent more than half a year in the Egypt office, Things were even worse there than I expected. Some have gone missing after the storm. The people who were supposed to be in the Egypt office, according to the member list stored in the headquarters in 1985, were not there when I arrived. The situation could be caused by the limitations of the transmission of paper-based materials, or because the computer was not yet popularized to every corner of the globe at the time. One minor mistake of a copyist could develop into a huge difference. I learned that someone published the paper Samplings of Global and Regional Chaotic Energy Route Changes in the name of Butterfly of Lorentz. Besides that, the chaos inside Laplace was an even worse issue. Apparently, they secretly used our sampling sites, yet their research direction and conclusion were radically different from Laplace's. The researchers equally divided into two schools, one sticking to the human technology they have focused on, and one changing their direction to Arcanum. At the time, it was still too early to decide which direction was right, without sufficient experimental data. But many already believed that if time continued to be reversed, human technology would only keep falling into decline, while Arcanum, which relies on personal ability, would rise again. It's true that Gnosis cannot be copied, verified by an independent third party, or comprehended through reasoning. Its nature decides that it cannot lay the foundation of science or be popularized to every ordinary person. It takes solid marble to build a castle, not slippery sand. Even so, what harm will it do to rely on Arcanum when the underlying logic of all things has become unreasonable? Before the disagreement was settled, the storm in 1987 was predicted. We were ordered to return to the headquarters 24 hours before its arrival. But the prediction was not accomplished by Laplace. A captive from Manus Vindictae names the precise date of that storm. Our enemies, those lunatic xenophobes, valuing only pure blood, made it further than we did. Yes, we built observation stations, we made countless deductions, we developed multiple simulation models. We made efforts, we sacrificed life, we did whatever we could. Yet the result was that we didn't find any other regions immune to the storm, except the headquarters and another one in North America. In the end, 95% of the branch members were reversed, 87.9% of the equipment was destroyed, and 100% of our predictions failed. In conclusion, our endeavor brought no achievements. As for the captive from Manus Vindictae, the delirium patient who claims that oracles flowed under his parietal bone, when we asked him how he learns the precise date of the storm, he burst in.
Can't you hear it? Has God left you behind when he spread his grace?
When we asked him how he learns the precise date of the storm, he burst into laughter. Then, he smashed his own skull with a handcuff. Yes, there was no doubt. He was an incurable lunatic. But his insane nonsense was exactly the reason we survived the storm again. No matter how unreasonable or illogical it was, or how much a lie it sounded like. So we'd better believe we shouldn't go out in black today because the fish is swimming in the water. We'd better believe in the existence of the non-physical, everlasting, transcendent world where everyone's soul is a number. We'd better believe in the supreme existence which caused the disorder of time by merely casting its shadow. That means the life of individuals means nothing more than rubbish, and the world is but an imperfect ruin where only the chosen ones will pass the trial, where the rest will be eliminated by the rain. How am I supposed to do that? Finally, I made up my mind to write to her. I didn't expect her to answer my questions. All I wanted was to confirm if she had survived that storm. For the sake of our peaceful talk about the rhombus. Yet what I heard from them was a simple announcement of her death. But she died. Then it burned and turned to ashes in a second. On the same day, the first and only timekeeper who just took office, the 12-year-old child, returned alone from the storm. She told us the time in the outside world at that point. And that was how I knew she was right.
It is right in front of you.
But if there is a God, why are you playing such a prank on us after we had suffered from the collapse of all the existing orders and the failure of all the great laws? If this is what she calls a glimpse of the supreme existence, the moment of a flatus, do you have to present it in such a cruel way? The last 2 digits in the number of the year after that storm were exactly her name and her number. 77.
Incroyable! Incroyable! C'est vrai! Quelqu'un a vraiment fait cette prophétie! Ertin and Soneto will be thrilled to know what we found! Well done, Miss Sotheby! You performed as well as a formal investigator! We need to submit this report to your instructor immediately!
What are you doing in other people's rooms? This is my personal item. You have no rights to take it. Please leave immediately.
Personal item? This is a precious record that should have been submitted to the Foundation. According to Administration and Regulations for Dispatch Personnel, St. Pavlov Foundation Decree number 259, every member of the Foundation, when acting as a field investigator, is required to create a comprehensive investigation report of all their actions and promptly submit it.
And they are obliged to ensure the authenticity, objectivity, and impartiality of the report. No personal bias is allowed in the content. If you have read this report, miss, you should know that it's not even qualified to be filed.
But this is an emergency!
I can tell from your uniform, you are a student of SPDM, or... This is Laplace. Do you have your guardian's approval to leave the school, Miss Underage Student?
Approval? I don't need that. I am not a student. You are talking to the exceptionally promoted monitor assistant of SPDM. Here is my ID. Did you just ignore a formal administrator of the Foundation? This monitor assistant will report every misbehavior of yours. Every little bit of them.
Miss Moisson, we found that report here. The great Miss Buanish and I discovered some important information. I came to you and Madame Z immediately after we read it. Miss Buanish, why are you confronting Mr. Chair?
I didn't expect to see the second half of that report here in your room, Adler.
Don't call me that, friend. Why not just call me Enigma? Just like everyone else. Relax. I know nicknames mean no harm. But I don't understand. How is a report filled with meaningless words of any concern to you, Madam Z?
It provides information about the Arcanist group Virgin is now dealing with. If possible, please give it to me.
Of course. How can I turn down a request from Constantine's chief of staff? Take it away. I hope you don't mind the mold on it.
Please pay attention to your manners and do not bring disgrace to the computing center, Mr. Rude.
Ms. Buanish? Ms. Sotheby? You've done a great job. I'm sure what you have found would be of great help to Timekeeper. And I will report your active performance in this mission to SPDM as soon as possible, Ms. Buanish. We need to further analyze the files you found. The first on the scene could provide more detailed information. Let's get out of here.
Contribution exceptionnelle! Oh là là, exceptionnel! Non. Calme-toi, Mathilda. I didn't accomplish it alone. Assistant Sotheby also played a significant role.
Hooray! That is to say, Miss Burnish, we can start preparing the balloons and flowers for the twist ball. Hooray!
Speaking of which, this monitor assistant still needs to think about it. By the way, just call me Mathilda.
There will be no advance in human technology. You think so? Even Madame Z has given up on the study of theoretical physics and become a politician.
No. I've never thought of that.
Beans. I can hear it. It's newly made this year.
Mon officier n'est pas un
Check my
capitaine.
calculation. Let's get it over quick. What trouble is wrong? Another jar? It's newly made this year. Got you. Enjoy! There they are.
It is here.
Another jar? You irrational numbers. You don't want to miss it. So troublesome. The final demonstration. Welcome to the world of numbers.
Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine. Oh, Mr. Lance! What a tragedy.
It could be found.
Soffoca il sangue! Ti soffoca il sangue! It is here. I can hear it.
Isn't that?
Tu peux la jeter maintenant.
lasciarmi.
Are you irrational numbers? That's troublesome. If it could be found. Welcome to the world of numbers.
It is here. I can hear it.
Even that.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant. Lasciarmi Winterstürme wischen den Wundermond.
Rational. Honey, another jar? I'll fill the cup for you. Ah! Enjoy!
It is here.
It's new. Another jar? Got you! You don't want to miss it! There they are. Come
What a
in.
tragedy.
Another jar? I'll fill the cup for you. Ah!
What it is here.
Even that.
Soffoca il sangue. Ti soffoca il sangue. Tu peux la jeter maintenant. Lasciarmi dov'è.
It could be newly made this year. Welcome to the world of numbers.
The curtain